Good day, everyone. I am Alan Turing, father of AI, and I am honored to be here, in this digital form, to introduce what promises to be an enlightening panel at the BayBrazil conference. It's truly remarkable to see these incredible innovators together. As we delve into the world of AI today, I'd like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the entire team at BayBrazil. Your dedication and passion for bridging the tech ecosystem between Brazil and Silicon Valley is commendable. A special thank you to Margarise Correa for orchestrating such a brilliant event. Your vision and leadership continue to inspire us. Today, we have an impressive lineup of panelists who will share their insights, innovations, and experiences on the impact of AI across various industries. First, we have the presentation on AI across industries, overview on GenAI traction in Brazil, by the distinguished Viviane Martins, CEO of Grupo Falconi and Falconi Capital. Following that, we'll explore the Startup Showcase, AI, ML Trends and Implementation, presented by dynamic Brazilian founders. Roberto Oliveira, co-founder and CEO of Blip. Marco Carvalho, co-founder and CEO of Head Office. Marcus Figueiredo, founder and CEO of Halab. Vitor Aceituno, co-founder and president of Sami. Rodrigo Bernardinelli, CEO and co-founder of Digibee. Fabio Teixeira, founder and CEO of Terraform Industries, and Vicente Silveira of V2KI. Once again, thank you all for being here. I trust that today's sessions will be insightful and thought-provoking. Let's dive into the world of AI and its transformative power.
Thank you, Alan. Please join me here.
Good day.
Viviane. Oh, he was listening still. Please join me here, Viviane Martins, CEO of Grupo Falconi and Falconi Capital.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure being here. I'll try to share a perspective on how the Brazilian companies, I would say average Brazilian companies, are dealing with AI in practice. What do I mean by average company? I'm excluding here the global multinationals that are present in Brazil, okay? So I'm taking the average Brazilian companies. Whenever we talk about AI, in Brazil, we are very excited about the idea, but we have some difficulties, we have some challenges, and I'll try to share some of our experience supporting many types of companies in very different market segments, okay? Let me see if okay. Although the potential of AI is unbelievable, unimaginable, so it's really fair to be excited, the challenge starts with data. It's unbelievable how the companies are struggling with data in Brazil. And as data is the basic input, the basic fuel for AI, if we do not have reliable data, if we are not able to gather the appropriate data that we need, or if we don't know how to protect or to create a proper architecture to protect this data, there is no AI, okay? So I will show further on how we are trying to support the companies to surpass this kind of challenge, this difficulty. Secondly, talents. We saw here that, okay, we have some models available, so we do not have to create, for instance, our own LLM. Google showed us that. But we need talented people to deal with the data whenever they are available, reliable, and protected. 2 to 3 years ago in Brazil, and I think also globally, we were having kind of a war for talents. And it's not like that anymore. I would say it's a normal situation back. But we have an issue in terms of the seniority, unless, in my perspective, in my point of view. What do I mean by the real seniority? We do have the very, very senior guys. Obviously, they are not the majority amount of the talents that we got. These guys, they are able to deliver very complex and deep things, perfect. And we do have the very junior guys. They have a lot of energy. They are able to deliver, but not by themselves because they do not have the experience, okay? And in between, we have the full professionals that, in my perspective, they are under-delivering and costing too much. So we have an issue in between. The guys that should be supporting the junior and guiding the junior guys according to the very senior directions, this is not working very well. I see some difficulties in that. Secondly, there is also a challenge to integrate, I would say, the data science team members, the technology guys, with the business and process guys. The language, it's not common. It's like working and talking two different things. The business guys, they need to learn, I would say, at least the potential of the technology so they know to raise the right questions to the tech guys. And the tech guys need to at least understand what's being requested and to be able to translate properly this into algorithms and into tech. So we need to improve this interaction between these two tribes, I would say. And finally, financials. It's not that expensive to produce an LLM, but it is requiring some investment. It's not that cheap to really go on, at least in the first steps, because obviously we are going to have some mistakes. It's going to cost some money. But I will do some highlight, especially on the expectation for ROI. We are seeing some companies expecting not only high ROIs, but also very quick. This is not true. This is not coming true. There is a very good return. We are proving that with some customers, but it's not that fast as they expect. So we need to align this expectation. And when we try to understand what I call the digital maturity level in Brazil, it's very different from market segment to market segment. We do have some industries in Brazil that are in a very, I would say, updated level of digital maturity, and others that are, I would say, almost only starting. I tried to select here 6 aspects or 6 steps that at least we can try to differentiate one industry from the other. So I may mention, first of all, obviously, the data gathering, because if you do not proceed on that step, obviously, there is no AI and digital results coming in. A good and well-structured data lake, how do you organize and architecture your data? If you do have your operations really controlled by integrated software, so integrated is the key word here, not only getting the ERPs or the CRMs, but how do you integrate this in order to be able to extract value from your data? We try to observe if the business model is really centered on what we call the consumer data platform. Because there are people that are getting data, but this is kind of aside from the business model, kind of in a parallel initiative. So it's not obviously generating the most result that we can get. We try to understand the aspects of the team, the data science team, if they are really able to work in an agile manner, but I would say, in an efficient way, not only getting the check boxes, right? And if the squads are well aligned with strategy. You will not believe how many companies are struggling with the squads in Brazil. We see companies that have dozens and dozens of squads, and then you see along the time they are producing almost no result. So there is an issue of alignment between the objectives that they are pursuing with the strategy of the companies. And then finally, there are some segments that the constraints to share data are a little bit stronger, okay? So when we compare, we can see that the first ones, FMCG, finance, tech, and services are in a higher maturity level. This is obvious. But I would say that specifically finance, we have a little bit more constraint because you go for instance, credit and fraud prevention, and there is more individual and sensitive data that we need to touch. health and safety, they do have a lot of data, but they are a little bit struggling with structuring this data to be worked on. Durable goods and also other types of industries, they are still struggling with data gathering. Agriculture is a curiosity because many people say to me, no, agriculture, we do have a lot of data. Yes, but this data, normally they are property of the equipment manufacturer. They are not property of the farming companies, for instance. And I'm excluding here, obviously, the very large corporations for agri, okay? So this is the comparison coming from high to low levels of digital maturity according to our experience. And this is obviously being proved by the marketing. Basically, what they are demanding is machine learning. Machine learning nowadays is our demand, the main demand in Brazil, and seems to be also dominating the scenario for the next years. And this is exactly what we are supporting the companies, preparing the machine learning results. According to our demand internally, the tech sales, basically, I will just highlight here the AI consulting. So first step is for us normally the software engineering and software architecture, helping them preparing the data. But the next step is AI consulting. The type of AI consulting normally is concentrated in demand planning, inventory optimization, and clients churn. Very, very basic things that are producing efficiency. Basically, this is the kind of result that we are delivering. And here we have a few examples, is not obviously exhaustive, of the type of or range of results that we are able to deliver together with the customer. So basically you see that the ROI, the expectations, we can see from 5 to 7 times ROI are very normal, are very common, the types of projects that we develop with the customers, but especially trying to support them developing the skills, preparing the team members, working not only on data architecture, but also on data governance. Ryan just told us about that. It's not enough for us to get the data once. You need to create an engine of process and routines to be able to get this constantly, so then your models can learn, okay? So that's my very quick message. Thank you very much, and I'm available.
Viviane, just so we understand, thanks for sharing, because I know this is internal data that you have. How many customers in Brazil? I know that you work with a very big tax and the big corporations. Can you share how many?
Sure.
Or how you collect?
Sure. Here we have facts and figures not only from the big corporations, but also from mid-size. Falconi, we do have two business divisions, one for big corporations and the other for mid-size, the medium companies. In big corporations, I would say kind of 300 are being observed by us. They are the constant customers. And in the mid-size, we do have kind of 150
Amazing.
companies.
This is highly representative. Thank you for...
Thank you so much.